Welcome. Today we are diving into the application layer, which is layer 7 of the Open Systems Interconnection, or OSI model. The application layer is all about network services and user applications. It is the layer that users interact with directly. Let's explore the key concepts of the application layer. First, the application layer is the topmost layer of the OSI model, referred to as layer 7. This layer provides network services directly to end users, enabling user applications to access network resources. Because of this, it is the closest layer to the end user. Its primary functions includes identifying communication partners, determining resource availability, synchronizing communication, and establishing agreements on procedures for error recovery. The application layer uses various protocols to provide services. Let's discuss some common ones. First, Hypertext Transfer Protocol or Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, commonly known as HTTP or HTTPS, which operates on ports 80 and 443 respectively. These protocols form the foundation of data communication on the World Wide Web and are used for loading web pages and transferring hypertext. Next, the Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, or SMTP, operates on port 25. This protocol is the standard for email transmission across Internet Protocol networks and is used for sending emails. Then comes Post Office Protocol version 3, or Internet Message Access Protocol, commonly known as POP3 or IMAP, operates on ports 110 and 143, respectively. These are standard protocols for receiving emails from a remote server to a local client. File Transfer Protocol, or FTP, operates on ports 20 and 21. It is the standard network protocol used for transferring files between a client and server on a computer network. Secure Shell, or SSH, operates on port 22. It is a cryptographic network protocol for operating network services securely over an unsecured network. Lastly, Domain Name System, or DNS, operates on port 53. It is a hierarchical and decentralized naming system for computers connected to the Internet, translating domain names to Internet Protocol addresses. Let's take a closer look at the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or HTTP. Its key characteristics are that it is a stateless protocol where each request-response cycle is independent. It follows a request-response model between a client and a server. It is a text-based protocol with human-readable messages. It uses Transmission Control Protocol, or TCP, as its transport layer protocol. The Hypertext Transfer Protocol version 2, or HTTP2, introduced binary framing for better performance, and Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, or HTTPS, adds transport layer security or secure sockets layer, commonly known as TLS or SSL encryption for security. Here is an example of an Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or HTTP request. The client sends a GET request for indexed HTML using Hypertext Transfer Protocol version 1.1, or HTTP/1.1. The host is www.example.com. The user agent indicates the client's browser. The accept field specifies that the client accepts text/HTML. The connection is set to keep alive. In response, the server sends an Hypertext Transfer Protocol version 1.1, or HTTP/1.1, 200 OK response indicating success. The content type is text/HTML. The content length is 1,234 bytes, and the date indicates when the response was sent. Now let's explore the Domain Name System, or DNS protocol. Domain Name System, or DNS, translates human-readable domain names to Internet Protocol addresses. It is a hierarchical distributed database system that uses User Datagram Protocol, or UDP, on port 53 for queries, and Transmission Control Protocol, or TCP, for large transfers. Caching at multiple levels improves performance, and it supports various record types like a Quad A, Mail Exchange or MX, canonical name or name, and text or TXT records. Domain Name System Security Extensions, or DNSSEC, provides authentication and integrity. Here is a simplified diagram of how domain name system, or DNS, works. A client queries a domain name system or DNS resolver. The domain name system or DNS resolver queries a root server, which directs it to a top-level domain or TLD server. The top-level domain or TLD server then points the resolver to the authoritative name server. Finally, the authoritative name server provides the Internet Protocol address to the resolver, which passes it back to the client. Let's explore the email protocols in the application layer. First, the Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, or SMTP, operates on port 25, or 465 for Secure Sockets Layer, commonly known as SSL. It is used for sending emails and includes client-to-server and server-to-server communication. It uses text-based commands like hello, mail from, and receipt to. It does not download messages to the client. Next, the Post Office Protocol version 3, or POP3, operates on port 110, or 995 for Secure Sockets Layer, commonly known as SSL. It is used for retrieving emails. It downloads messages to the client and typically deletes them from the server. It is a simple protocol with limited functionality and provides offline access to messages after download. Then comes Internet Message Access Protocol, commonly known as IMAP, operates on port 143, or 993 for Secure Sockets Layer, commonly known as SSL. It is a modern email retrieval protocol. It keeps messages on the server and supports folders, flags, and message states. It also allows multiple client access to the same mailbox. Now let's delve into file transfer protocols. First, the File Transfer Protocol, or FTP, uses ports 20 for data and 21 for control. It is the standard protocol for transferring files between a client and a server. It uses separate connections for commands and data transfer. It supports authentication, but sends credentials in plain text, and offers both active and passive connection modes. In this example, the client sends a user command with the username. The server responds with a 331 password required message. The client then sends a pass command with the password, and the server responds with a 230 user logged in message. Next, the Secure File Transfer Protocol, or SFTP, uses port 22, the same as Secure Shell or SSH. It is a secure file transfer protocol running over Secure Shell, or SSH. It encrypts both authentication and data transfer and supports resuming interrupted transfers. It also provides file system operations like rename and delete, and is more firewall-friendly than traditional file transfer protocol, or FTP. In this example, the client initiates an Secure File Transfer Protocol, or SFTP, connection to the server. Once connected, the client uses the GET command to download a remote file to a local file. Now let's explore remote access protocols. First, the Secure Shell, or SSH, uses port 22. It is an encrypted protocol for secure remote login and command execution. It supports public key authentication and provides a secure channel over an unsecured network. It also has tunneling capabilities for other protocols and is widely used for server administration. Security features includes encrypted communications, strong authentication methods, and data integrity verification. Next, Telnet uses port 23. It is a legacy protocol for remote terminal connection with a text-based interface for remote command execution. It has no built-in encryption or strong authentication, and has largely been replaced by Secure Shell, or SSH, for security reasons. It is still used in specific network troubleshooting scenarios. The security concerns are that it transmits data in plain text, it is vulnerable to eavesdropping, and it has no data integrity protection. Let's summarize what we've learned about the application layer. The key takeaways are that the application layer, Layer 7, is the topmost layer in the Open Systems Interconnection, or OSI model. It provides network services directly to end users and applications. Protocols in this layer define how applications interface with the network. Each protocol serves a specific purpose like web, email, file transfer, etc. And security considerations are increasingly important at this layer. Common application layer protocols includes Hypertext Transfer Protocol or Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, Domain Name System, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, Post Office Protocol version 3 or Internet Message Access Protocol, File Transfer Protocol or Secure File Transfer Protocol, Secure Shell, Telnet, Network Time Protocol, and Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Understanding application layer protocols is essential for network administration, security implementation, and application development. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.